Hey you guys! Oh, MG, has been a sweet minute. Hello, Wiley. Wiley, sit! Okay. Okay. Um, so, it's been a while. It's been crazy. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of changes in my life. Um, so, I'm going to try to keep this as together as possible. This is the first video of 2013. And I guess I should talk about some resolutions. So to do that, I'm going to look at my blog because I have them listed there. I have quite a few things going on, as always. And I'm hoping, okay, this is a weight loss channel first. Actually, it's not. It's a life channel now. But we're all here, or originally I was here due to weight loss. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the weight loss aspect of things real quick. Okay. I feel like I repeat myself a lot, and if you are a die-hard video watcher, then I apologize. But since I know life gets in the way and people come and go from the channel, I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple of things out there that I've probably already said. One, some of my eating. Okay, I have disordered eating. I'll say that. It's not an eating disorder, but there's definitely a disordered eating pattern there that I have to fight to be healthy. It was overeating and binge eating, and now it is tending to undereat or eating with extreme guilt. So that is something I have been working on for like the last year. So that's what I have going on. And then you guys know that I run. I love to run. So let's talk about weight over the last year or so and where we're going with it. 255 pounds where I started. I got down. My lowest weight on Weight Watchers record is 135, I think, 0.8 or 6. My lowest personal weight was 133.8 because it was like 133, 134, like bouncing back and up, right? Okay. This is what I found, and this is so important about weight loss when you start your journey. So anybody who's here and is just starting, and there's somebody who just started a new channel, and I think she can attest to what I'm about to say. You start your journey with a number in your head. Like, well, I didn't start my journey with a number in my head. I just was like, I have to lose 100 pounds. Like, I have to be somewhere near healthy. All right. When the weight started to come off, I started to get this idea, like, oh my, I could be 115 pounds. I like, nothing needs to stop me. I could be tiny. I could be that perfect 105 or whatever, right? And when I really sat down, I was like, okay, I want 115. And then as I started to lose, like really lose the weight and see what it looked like to be 115, like, well, not to be 115, but to like be getting smaller, I was like, wait, 115 would probably be smaller than I'm actually willing to go. So I was like, okay, I want to be 125 to 127. That was my ideal, right, in my head. On a looks level, when I got to 140, I was really happy. I have extra skin. I've lost, hey! They play together, but not on my bed. I don't want my bed to start getting destroyed. I lost weight, over 100 pounds, and I had been over 100 pounds overweight for over 10 years. So obviously I have some skin issues. Down. Down. Go. Stay. So obviously I have some skin issues. Well, I felt kind of like, it was as good as it could be. My arms, my legs, everything was as good as it could be considering. But when I started to cross from 140 into the 130s, it started to be like extra skin that was like, I don't know, like my face and neck started to look weird. My arms started to get like weird. My leg, like, and at 135, I was not happy what was happening with my skin. So that was one aspect of 135. Another aspect of 135 is that anytime I get that low, I run slower. It just happens. And I think that's because I probably wasn't getting low the healthiest way, which is fine. Like, I understand and accept that, and I'm working on that. And so I started to realize, if this is 135, I don't want to be 125. And it hurt to give up that goal because I wanted that number, but I did not want that reality. So that was a real adjustment for me. So then the next couple of months, it's and to like the stretch of like the maintenance phase was trying to figure out, what do I want for a goal? And ultimately, I think that can't be answered by a number, because what I want is to be healthy and fast. I mean, I constantly strive to improve my time and my running time, and so I want to be healthy and fast. What I want is to fit into my jeans. Right now, I'm in a size 8. I have some, like, my baggy fishing jeans. I have one pair of 10s. Those are my baggy fishing jeans. The reason I kept those jeans is because I love them to death, but they're too big. And they don't look nice when I'm out and about, but they work perfectly for fishing. So I still get to wear, like, one of my favorite pairs of jeans, but, you know. So they get dirty and yucky and whatever, and it's okay because they're my fishing jeans. And I have a couple of, oh, I got rid of one of them. So I have one pair of 6s. But I am an 8. I can go anywhere and pick up an 8. I know I'm going to fit them either baggy or tight. That's what's going to happen, is an 8. And that makes me happy. I'm okay with that. And I want to always be in my jeans. What I find, though, is what's weird is on my way down losing weight. At 150, I was a size 10, 12. Now that I've gotten all the way down to the one, like, that I went down to the 135, let's just call it, and I stayed around the 140s for a while, even when I get up to 150, I still fit in my jeans. Now, they're snugger, I'm not going to lie to you, but I still fit in them. And so it's like a weird, so I can weigh more and be smaller because it just depends on what you eat. And also, it's just a strange place. So I got into, like, figuring out for me what's going on, right? Then I had Weight Watchers, on the other hand, sitting there, and you have to weigh in monthly to be an employee, and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I love Weight Watchers, in essence, but I needed to take a break from it. I needed to walk away from the scale, because what happens when you get down to your lowest number is that there's no place to go but up. And that's a very, very, very hard thing to put your head around. I'm making a video. It's okay, baby. Just tell me something about Pokemon. Okay. So it's a very, very hard thing to wrap your head around, the fact that, like, there is no more going down. And there is no possible way, in reality, to stay one weight. You eat, and you consume, and you go up, and then the waste leaves your body, and you go down. And so there's this weird, I don't know, it's like this whole trip to your brain, especially when you're somebody who was so big and you have this fear of gaining it all back or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. So with the holidays coming, I walked away from Weight Watchers. I have not officially weighed in with Weight Watchers in 2 months, I think. I mean, I'm constantly hopping on and off the scale just to know what's going on. And it was a really scary thing, but I kind of went like this, like, oh, well, I'm going to eat carbs. I'm going to have a handful of chips if I want them. I'm going to eat cookies. I'm going to eat the Christmas cookies I'm baking. I'm going to eat the whatever. Like, oh, well. Okay? And what happened was, and I tell people this all the time, you weigh more because you eat and you have it in you. You eat a bunch of bread, it's like a sponge sitting in your stomach full of water, and you weigh more the next couple of days until it leaves. Okay, so Thanksgiving comes, and I ate. I didn't go bananas, but I didn't go psycho well-behaved like I normally do. And for the next couple of days, I weighed like 150 something, 150 maybe 1 or 2. Then it came back down to 149. And then, we had another event come up, and actually after that event, I weighed in at like 148. And then I ate for some party, and it was like, all right, 152. And that is what was happening. And I was like, you know what? I'm getting on and off the scale just to know. Because I know in my mind, I am 100% sure that even though on some of these days when we're baking Christmas cookies, I might be at 2,000 or 2,500 calories, on other days I'm at 13. So I am really not able to gain 10 pounds of weight. That's just not true. This just has to work its way out. And I read Portia de Rossi's book about unbearable lightness. She had an eating disorder, anorexia, and I read it a long time ago. But one of the things that stuck in my mind was that when she finally stopped with the eating disorder, she really went up, like to 165, and then just by living life and keeping a balance, it came back down to 135. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on the balance and not on the number. And through the holidays, that is what I focused on. I went to Christmas and I ate Christmas. And you know what? When I got there, I was like, I don't care really about any of the food. I mean, I want the gumbo. But I'm eating all the dessert. And that's what I did. I was like, I'm not wasting my calories on the stuff I don't really care about that I could cook a million times. I'm eating desserts because I'm not doing this every single day. And that it was like, okay, I'm going to live and I'm gonna do both parts of it. Now I've never felt like I wasn't living, but I definitely felt like food was a very scary, scary place for me. And I feel now like it's still scary, but it's going to be okay. And I think that I really needed to walk away from Weight Watchers to get that, because as long as that you have to weigh in between this number to be an employee and to be blah, 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 it was like, I can't focus on the number and how to get low. I need to focus on how to eat and be healthy with it mentally. That being said, I do have a number of goals that are weight loss related or health related, not weight loss related anymore. And let's see if I can find my resolutions. I think I thought I wrote them yet. Okay. I have also, okay, weight loss. So then, just to give you guys an idea, because I'm constantly saying it, as I mentioned, food weight stuff, and so you weigh higher. 2 days ago, I weighed in, after our camping trip and everything else, and Christmas and New Year and all that, and I weighed in at 154 point. I'm gonna say 8. Yeah, 154.8. Okay, and that is a very scary number for me because 255 is what I started at. So 155 is 100 pounds lost. And that's just scary to think about going into that. To be at like 99 pounds off, that's just scary. So it was 154.8. But the thing is that it didn't strike fear into me. I was like, all right, whatever. This is today, and I'm starting like right now. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm waiting for the first of the year to start again. It was actually what it was this time. Go. If you're gonna stand here and cry, go. Actually, what it was this time was like, I'm gonna get through the holidays. The first, we have our family camping trip around the first and everything else. So it's like I know I'm gonna eat popcorn and s'mores and roasted marshmallows. And every New Year's we start we have a breakfast of cinnamon rolls, and so it's like I knew that was gonna, but I was like, but that marks the end of my holiday season. So on the 2nd, it was like, all right, weigh in, see what happens. 154.8, cool. We didn't even go into 155. That's a miracle, thank you Jesus, and just move forward. But the next day I was 151, and then today I weighed in at 148.8. So did I actually exercise enough to lose 6 pounds? No, it's just that I didn't actually eat enough to gain 6 pounds. Bam. All right. So that's where we're at with weight. My goal with my weight is I would like to get back to 145 by the end of this month. That's 3.8 pounds by the end of January. However, I am not willing to severely undercut my calories. My goal is to not be hungry, to not deny, and to have a healthy relationship with food. Which does not mean, like, I still identify as a food addict. I will not be eating fast food hamburgers. I will not be going to any of the trigger foods. Those are, like, I'm not even attempting to, like, redefine this and be like, oh, maybe I can have a relationship with those foods. No, those are still off limits. But that does mean that having a cookie when we bake cookies, that means eating a slice of cake when we have cake at parties, and letting it work itself out in long-term healthy eating. Because if I'm eating every day 15 to 1700 calories full of veggies and goodness, then having a 2300 calorie day where I went to a birthday party and had cake and ice cream is not going to make me gain 120 pounds back. That's just not. So I need to get right with that. Short-term weight loss goal. The end of January, I want to be 145. Okay. So there you go. That was kind of like a long way in conversation. But I'm going to move now into something else that's really affecting my life, and it is spirituality. I have talked about it once or twice before about looking for a church. I was raised hardcore Pentecostal, modern Pentecostal. We didn't wear skirts. We did wear skirts, but we didn't have to wear skirts. Okay. Anyway, and I miss the church. I miss that. I have a longing for it. I have had for a very long time, and I found a church I'm really, really happy with. And what happened was, in October, I got a daily devotional for homeschoolers, and I just started to read it. And I started reading it like every once in a while, and it really made a difference in my day. And then I started to read it every day because it was like, now I really like this. And so I started reading it every day, and it made a difference. And it made me want to do things differently. And it kind of gave me a way to start to do them differently. And then I went online and I ordered Jesus Calling, which is a daily devotional book by Sarah Young, I think is her name. And she also does the same books. Like then there's another version, Jesus Calling for your kids. And it's the exact same message every day, but it's, it's in kid language, which is cool. So now my wife has a copy, I have a copy, and the kids have a copy. And I read mine every morning. My wife reads hers, and she'll call and be like, "Did you read today's? It's awesome," or whatever. And it's very good. And then the kids have been really loving it. We every single day, weekend or school day, we start with our daily devotionals. We read the devotional, we talk about it, we say a prayer, we do a Bible story, and we move on. And it's been awesome. It's really changed so much about our school day. It's awesome. And then in that time, I said to my wife, I want to work on not wanting. Now, you guys know I love shoes, I love bags, I love clothes, I love it. But I was like, I want to work on not wanting stuff. So I put that into motion, stopped flipping through the catalog. I'm like, I'm just taking a break. I just want to, I am so happy with the life that I have. I am so truly blessed, and I love every aspect of it. And I felt like always wanting more or something different was taking away from my ability to appreciate that I love my life. So I just kind of turned away from it. And I talked to my wife, which is awesome that I can say stuff to her. And she's like, not like, what? Instead, she's like, cool, let's do it. And I was like, I'm working on not wanting. And she's like, all right, cool. Then I was like, oh, we're going to do a no-spend January. January, it's kind of like a really good, like after, it's kind of like a diet. Like after you splurge, you're like, whew, I got to call it off. Just take some time. So January is like our juice fast, if you will. December you just spend so much on other people, on your kids, on your life. It's like so expensive. So kind of like as a recovery from that and to get into a new mindset, we went into no spend January. So we're not spending anything extra, nothing extra or unplanned, which is kind of killer. And it's going to make a difference. It's going to be a real difference, which is just awesome. But I found a church, and that makes me beyond happy. And in the past, I had found places where it was like, maybe, but I don't really feel anything here. Or maybe, but this isn't, like, one we found was really nice, but then their children's church was just the kids watching SpongeBob, and that's not really church. I don't know. But we went, and there was another one the kids weren't really happy with, and that's really important to me, is my children being happy. So two Sundays ago, 2 Saturdays ago, I was in a very bad place, and I was like, I am finding a church, and we are going, because we didn't have the kids with us, and I felt like that would be a good time to look into a church. So we went. I found 2 of them. We went. I loved it. I loved the first one. It was amazing and awesome, and I was like, we don't even need to go to the other one. I feel like this is it. So I'm very, very happy. I'm very satisfied. I just hope that the kids like it. And while we were there, we met the children's church leader, who is a teacher, and she's lovely. She's a lovely older woman, and everybody there was just lovely. And so we took the kids last week, and they loved it. Loved it to the point that when the kids were brought back in at the end of the service, they were like, we're coming back here, right? Oh my gosh, we're coming back here, right? And I'm like, yes, we're coming back. I love it. So I'm really, really excited about that. My goals for this year is to start and end each day with God. And I have been doing that since early December, and it's been amazing. I want to work through the Jesus Calling devotional books with the kids all year, no matter how little time it seems we have. Start that on December 26th. I want to run a minimum of 10 miles every week. Now, for January, that's a little altered, because what I actually want to run is a minimum of, I want to run 2 separate, constantly running 5Ks and a 10K per week. So it's going to come out to be a little bit more than 10 miles. I just talked to you guys. I want to create a better relationship between this body and my mind. Yeah. I want to stay on top of spending. We're starting with no spend January, but even after that, I want to continue to work on that, and to really put things together and move forward, paying off debt. I would love to go into, I plan on going into 2014 as close to debt-free as possible, and within the next couple of years being debt-free. That's my goal. 100% debt-free. So I believe it. I can do it, and we're going to do it. That's going to be awesome. My big goal is to continue to want less and be thankful for what I have, and it's really easy. It's like, I mean, as soon as I broke the habit of flipping through the, magazines and shopping constantly, it was like, bam, it's so awesome. And I want to buy a building, which goes against the whole debt-free thing, but that's just, yeah, I want to achieve a building. So that's my goal. Okay. As far as YouTube goes, if you're still with me for all that. As far as YouTube goes, or figure out a way to have a building bought. Yes. Church needs a home, so we need a building. Okay. Here we go. I want to make a video every week at a minimum. I'm going to start that short term with January. I want it to happen between Friday and Sunday so that it's like a weekly weigh-in. I want to weigh in, and I want to make a video. I'm not gonna do weigh-ins. I was gonna do weigh-ins on Saturday, but I'm counting this weigh-in as this week's weigh-in unless I do actually get one in, because Saturdays and Sundays have become bombs of craziness, and so I've been missing the video opportunity, and so I would like to make a video tomorrow to talk about my weight, because I'm going to try to go to Weight Watchers and weigh in. However, if that doesn't happen, then we're just going to count, Fridays as official and move forward. Yeah. All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I have a vision for a new year, new me. It's not going to happen this year, obviously, or we might start later, because it got too discombobulated, and I have a better vision that will help it be more organized. And so that excites me, but it's going to take time to put into effect. So, also, I'll do that. I'm not even going to tell you guys, because just like the last time, I just did it. And like last time, I was about to be like, also, I'm going to quit Weight Watchers. And I was like, no, I'm not going to keep talking about this until I do it. So there's another thing I need to do, but I'm just going to do it. Yeah. You'll know, because I'll be like, that was that thing that I was not going to talk to you guys, but did, or kind of. Alright, I am going to go for a run. Today is my rest day, so I'm taking a friend with me because she is a little slower than me, and that makes me rest during our run. And then tomorrow is my 10K day, I think.